Still have some work to do this one. That's not supposed to come up like that, but that's still an awesome punch. It needs a little bit of love, but it's very repairable, and since it didn't cost anything, it's a very good price. In the last video, I built this little frame, a little rolling frame to hold my two new machines, and I repeated myself a few times on this one because it had a problem, and that's an important machine to me. This is something I've been wanting for a while, so this one has a little bit of a problem. So I took it apart a little bit to try and take this off, and I thought, well, maybe I need to remake this because that's just the whole thing is just worn out. But the thing is that the shaft has been cut down a lot smaller than it needs to be. That is a 7/8 diameter shaft. 7/8 diameter. So the inside of the hole is a little bit smaller than 7/8, which it has to be in order to put threads in there. So the threads are still there, they're worn down. So what I intend to do is cut this off and rethread the end of that. And I checked this to the best of my ability, but that's 14 TPI, 14 threads per inch, and it feels like it matches inside there real well. I've ordered a die, and it's an adjustable die, so the idea is to leave it as open as I can, so the threads that I cut on here will be fat enough to be tight in here. At least that's the theory. Now I'm going to go ahead, and while I'm waiting for the die to get here, I'm going to go ahead and clean all this stuff up, take all the rest of this off, clean the main body of that, and paint her green just like she used to be. And you may be thinking, you've got a lathe, why don't you cut your threads on your lathe? Well, the problem is this: the gears that operate the threading part are screwed up. So I've got that wired up. Now I can shave metal off all day long, but I can't cut threads because the feed on that is broken, and I haven't gotten around it. It's just not a priority, or it hadn't been yet, to pull the skirt off that and find out where the problem is. So I do need to clean that up, though. I'll do that while I'm waiting for the die as well. Nice little green color. Looks like Christmas, doesn't it? So you got green, and that, after I got the layers of dirt and gunk off of it, I found the actual colors were green and red. And the handle has bits of blue, but I think I'm going to make that green. So after I cut that end off, I will probably cut the handle off as well, sand the whole thing down and make the whole thing green. That's most of it. I've got to still have to add this part back. This is the hold down, so that would go behind this and hang down here, and so you punch, and then that would peel the thing off of the tip of the punch. Now I've changed that over to 1/8 inch because that'll be what I use mostly. That's what I drill out for rivets, and so that will replace, this punch will replace the drilling process for the rivets. I'm looking a little more complete. Keep finding pieces that would go to it. I like a good puzzle, so There's some pieces I hadn't quite figured out yet, but that's the main body of it. Looking pretty good. And of course, one more thing to go. Very nice. Very nice. Not even hot. Just a little bit warm. I like that.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together. It's so beautiful, you and me. We meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. Sometimes you need to go and take a step back to see the truth around you. From a distance you can tell. You and me, you're meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free. You and me, meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
Okay, all I did was take off some of the scale and smooth it out a little bit so it's not quite as rough. And this is where the threads are going to be. Got my nut die. I'm going to use my tailstock here a little bit to hold pressure on that while I get this started. second. If you can stand there and wait for me. Bet you I could muscle that down just a little bit more, but before I do that, maybe I'll go ahead and paint the handle. Alright, here's the end of it. It's threaded, and I've got this little shaved off section so it can go down further in the socket than it used to go before. I decided instead of painting the handle blue, which I don't have the paint, I went ahead and did the whole thing yellow, and let's find out if it fits, huh? Gotta get it started right. Yeah. No, that's not going to fall out. That is just awesome. That is just awesome. Let's see how it works. All day long. Punch, 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 punch. Punch, punch, punch. All day long. I am extremely happy to have these two machines in my shop. Dan's really helped me more than he thinks he has, I think. With this one, I'll be able to punch the 1/8 inch hole. So the idea is, I've got my plastic. All right, I'll walk you through this. Got my plastic. I'm going to cut my pattern into the plastic, the shape of the blades, and rivet holes wherever the rivet holes are going to be. Now I have to do that for both sizes, the 48 inch and the 36 inch. But once I've got those patterns cut in that with the rivet holes, then I can bring that piece over here, and see, I'll have the aluminum piece that I've already cut to size, cut to length, and I can clamp that onto the form with ease. And then these are Clicos. This is Clicos. This is something else that Dan introduced me to. I've seen these things, but I never connected it with doing this kind of work. But I can clamp the form onto the piece, the aluminum blade, with this thing, right? And then I go through the process of punching all the rivet holes where they are. And then I take these clamps off, and then I use this Clico. Let's see if I can. And then I use this style of Clico, which is that will go into the rivet hole, and that will hold the form onto the aluminum without anything on the side. So once I've got that, then I can come over here to the tracer punch and then follow the edge of the pattern and trim off the other parts of the blade that I don't need. It'll actually look like a blade after it goes through this process, and that will save a huge amount of time. You know, it takes a few days, you know, once I've cut the pieces into length, and then I'd have to do all the other cutting to shape the blade. This will make that process go from 3 or 4 days of hard work to 1 day. That's awesome. So I look forward to using these in an upcoming video. I'm not sure if it's going to be the next one. I'm also working on my generator, so this is playing with ideas. But anyway, I've got a lot of different things going on. These will be in an upcoming video. I don't know which one, but thank you for watching, and take care until next time.